must have started on Amanda. Okay.
Yep, you're live and you're recording.
I show it's now 7:15 PM on Wednesday, May 5th, 2021. I'd like to bring the Finance and Personnel Committee meeting to order. Please note that notices were mailed and posted as of April 29th, 2021. Call to order and roll call. Alderperson Jim Olson. Here. Alderperson Tom Smith.
Here.
And Diane Wolf is also here. Please note for the record that Jared Holter is in attendance, Amy H.R., Eric Renfleisch, Fred Bueller, Mayor Kim Smith, 2nd District Alderperson Dan Stevens, and 3rd District Alderperson Carrie Burmaster. Did I get everyone? Oh, I'm sorry. And then I see Dan Wick. Also, I see Amanda Jackson and Charles Ashbeck, and I'm guessing, oh, and also Justin Swartling, and I'm guessing that is Brian from the Omni Center, and Joanne Marcon. Approval of minutes from the previous meeting.
Motion approved.
Motion by Alder Smith, second by Alder Olson to approve the previous meeting minutes. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 3, public input, limited to 3 minutes per individual. If there's anyone who would like to give input at this time, they may do so. Please give your first and last name and your address. So first call for public input. Second call for public input. And I don't see anyone online looking for public input. Third and final call for public input. I will close that portion of the meeting and move on with the printed agenda. Consideration and possible action on the following items. Finance, number 4, 2021 Omni Center financials. Fred?
Okay, before you this evening, actually before you start, or before I start, is we have our audit done around the 15th, starting the 15th through the that whole week of March 15th, I think, through the 18th. The auditors are here, so what you see in front of you is prior to any adjusting journal entries for the year of 2020. And so the next month we will have, I can tell you since during this period of time between here and then, or then and now, would be is all the journal entries have been put in, things will start making a little bit more logical sense. So we're somewhat, what I call a little bit in limbo in the months of January, February, and March because of closure to a variety of things, along with the fact that, as we had stated before, the Omni Center does not receive any type of room tax until the month of February. So in April is which gets into a little bit into May before you get the first quarter statistics. And so next month we'll see how the first quarter lies as in the area of tourism, room tax dollars, and so on and so forth. But I know Dan is more than willing to come and discuss with you his projects and programs he's been running up there. But if you look to page 3 of the financials, you'll see the difference between revenues and expenditures at this point is roughly a deficit of $34,739. But then again, that doesn't include any type of room tax dollars that would obviously sway that to not a positive, but better than what you see. So other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say unless Dan Wick has something to add.
Thank you, Fred. Dan, do you have anything to add?
Nothing really to add, just that we have been quite busy with a number of events going on the last a number of weekends. Last weekend we did host the Lava Show in the front arena and outside, and then we also hosted the beer memorabilia show in the back arena. This weekend we have an event in the in Arena 1, a volleyball tournament going on in Arena 2, and a a rock and gem show going on in the West Wing. So we have a lot of activities going on, a lot of activities in the building. And so we just hope to continue to have people come out and everybody abiding by what the county is requesting us to do. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dan. So wishes of the committee?
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2021 Omni Center financials.
Motion by Alder Smith, seconded by Alder Olson, to approve the 2021 Omni Center financials. Discussion. Alder Smith?
I just have a question, Fred, maybe you can answer, it, or maybe this is Eric, and we talked about it a little bit before. I know we have some government funding that may be coming because of COVID, that, it's too premature to determine, where all that money's gonna, what we can be able to spend on what yet. I know there's gonna be a lot of restrictions, but there are a lot of things in the Omni Center that, because of COVID, that tied to, cancellations, loss of revenues. And I'm wondering if, when those funds do available, would that be something that could help us with some of the deficits for the Omni Center? I mean, it might be premature, but I've been curious, so thought I'd ask the question. Also, Eric or Fred.
I can answer. We do have some additional guidance. It's slowly dribbling out. We don't have guidance purely from the Treasury yet, but Department of Revenue did send some out today. And it clarifies the email I had sent out originally to staff, to department heads, and to council members of the uses for those funds. The key component when it comes to losses is to bring the service up to the level of service of previous budgeted years, not to expand the services or not to just plug one-time hole or one-time holes. And so that's the question then is, what level of service are we not providing in the Omni Center that we were providing, say, in 2019, pre-pandemic? That would be an eligible expense, an example, but simply replacing revenue would not be. They're also very, very clear when it comes to the Department of Revenue that funds cannot be used to expand your expenses in future years past 2024. So generally we're looking at one-time only expenses, and in terms of bringing up service to previous levels only.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Did we vote? I already forgot. I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't under discussion.
Oh, it was under discussion.
Must be a thing tonight.
Yes. So any other further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Item 5, 2021 General Fund Financials. Fred.
Okay, similar to what we had stated earlier from the audit perspective, on page 7 of the financials, or 7 of the documents that you have in front of you is the balance sheet. Again, next month there'll be more information. Obviously, the tax revenue will be brought in, so it won't look so negative as you look between the revenues and expenses, but not a whole lot to report. There's nothing out of the ordinary at this point because it is very early in the game. We've only had, the March statistics are really not too much coming in at this point in time, but I really don't have nothing to add. Jared probably knows more maybe that's even too early for you as far as where he thinks we'll end up in the snow and ice, but probably won't be as bad as it was in the past.
That is correct. We do have a full, both salt sheds full, and we have not expended any funds in the 2021 budget year. We bought all of our salt out of the 2020 budget, so we are sitting very good in the salt and sand budget item.
Thank you, Jared.
So if you have any questions for me, other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2021 General Fund financials.
Motion by Alder Smith, second by Alder Olson to approve the 2021 General Fund Financials. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Item 6, authorization to participate in Wisconsin Bureau of Transportation Safety Grant, BOTS, with the town of Campbell. I'm guessing this is going to be
Chief Chuck Ashbeck.
Ashbeck.
Yes, good evening. I'm just seeking approval as in past years. This is our typical safety grant that we partner with Town of Campbell to put out extra officers to monitor speed and other items that the grant wishes. And so we're just seeking approval to proceed with this grant process.
Thank you, Chief. Chief, is there any cost to the city?
This, I believe, is your typical like 80-20 soft match. So typically we can fund that 20% through fringe benefits and other particulars. And so typically there's not any additional costs that come out of this city budget.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we authorize to approve the authorization to participate in the Wisconsin Bureau of Transportation Safety Grant, BOTS, with the town of Campbell.
Motion by Alder Smith, second by Alder Olson to approve and authorize to participate in the BOTS with the town of Campbell. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Item number 7, authorization to purchase external uniform carriers, pouches to hold gear on the external carrier, and uniform shirts specifically made to be worn under the external carriers, not to exceed $7,876.50, non-budgeted items. Chief Ashbeck.
Yes, thank you again. So just continuing to move forward on our officer wellness program and trying to outfit as many officers with these external carriers to get that equipment off of the duty belt, off their hips. So these purchases are coming from funds through typically the sale of squad car or city property. So they were not budgeted, but with those funds, we're able to continue moving forward with this project.
Thank you, Chief. Fred?
One thing I wanted to mention, it's in the memo, but it's not written in the motion, in which I'll make sure the wording is in there at the council level, that this is all this transaction, a non-budget item, will be going through the special revenue fund, which is the equipment replacement fund. That is where the sale of the items and the purchasing of what he's requesting will go through Fund 207.
Thank you. And the one that ends in the 49,400.
Yes.
Thank you. Wishes of the committee.
I'll make a motion. Fred, did you want that special surplus fund to added to this motion too?
No, because it wasn't listed.
For the council, okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the purchase of the external uniform carrier, pouches to hold the gear on the external carrier, and uniform shirts specifically made to be worn under the external carrier, not to exceed $7,876.50 as a non-budgeted item.
Motion by Alder Smith, second by Alder Olson to approve item number 7 per the printed agenda in the amount not to exceed $7,876.50. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Chief. Item number 8, under personnel, discussion and possible action on approving proposed organizational charts for the following departments. We'll start with 8A, Parks and Recreation. Dan?
If I may,
Oh, Eric?
if I may, before we begin the conversation, discussion on the org charts, as it's a personnel item, wish to introduce publicly for the first time at a public meeting, the new face you see before you. This is Amy Fransden, our new HR manager. And it's a pleasure to have her working with us It's been a busy first week, I imagine, and we're happy to have you.
Welcome.
Welcome again.
Mhm.
Glad to have you here.
Mm.
So Dan,
Thank
Rec
you.
Reorg.
Thank you. Before you tonight is a opportunity that we are bringing forward to look at the reorganization of our Park and Rec Department. We've had a few staff members leave, and so we've taken this opportunity to look at a different way to restructure, to try to reorganize our department, more functionality purposes. And so that's what you see before us, before you tonight. Looking at, currently, I have 6 direct reports that come to me, narrowing that up to 3, and then just creating a couple more layers within our department. The biggest thing with this, there is no added positions. This is working within the budget that was given to us as of January 1st. So there's nothing, no added positions at this time, what you see before you tonight. I don't know if you want, I mean, what would you like? Go ahead.
Eric?
If I may, under discussion, you'll see the same thing with Jared when it comes to Public Works as well, that the point at this moment is to review the organizational chart to engage, to make sure that it's something that the F&P committee as well as the council is comfortable with. If it's comfortable with it, the next steps then is to implement the chart by doing the position descriptions and scoring those position descriptions as appropriate. We felt it important that the council have their input first prior to beginning that effort, so we don't go too far down a line that you're not comfortable with.
Thank you, Eric. Tom?
I just got quick, so if I'm reading this right, under the facilities manager on the left, and so then all of the facilities are either under the Omni Center or City Hall, right? I mean,
City Hall and Library is included in that.
okay. I was gonna say the library would be part of the City Hall part of it too?
Yes.
Oh, I see. It's over one. Okay, got it. Okay, so that's the custodial staff. All right. And then the other question I have is under the Park and Rec Director, the aquatic specialist. What is that position? Is that a current position?
No, that is a seasonal position. We have an individual that's been with us since we've opened our pool that has worked in a seasonal capacity for us. The person is WSA certified, so trains all of our lifeguards, does all the scheduling and work with our lifeguards at the aquatic center.
Okay, we didn't have it last year because we didn't have the pool open, but
Correct.
we've had it in the past, so.
Yes, we have.
And it's in the budget, right? What's in the budget?
Yes, it is. Yep, that's an hourly position, a seasonal position for us.
Perfect, thank you.
And Dan, I'll ask you the same question that I'll be asking Jared in a few minutes. Do you feel that the people who you have on current staff will have the skill set to fill these positions? I realize there's a couple positions that are open.
Yep, yes, I do. I believe we have talented staff that we can move into some of these positions, and then, with additional work with them on more supervisory training, leadership training, we can make this as a very successful path for us going forward.
Thank you. The wishes of the committee.
All right, I will need a motion, right? Okay, we'll make a motion that we approve the proposed organizational chart for the Park and Rec area, right?
Motion by Alder Smith, second by Alder Olson to approve the Parks and Recreation proposed organizational chart. Discussion.
Sounds like a good start, good place to try to do the consolidation, do the best you can. So hopefully it works out really pretty good for you guys.
So hearing no further discussion, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And item 8B, Public Works, Jared.
Thank you. With the upcoming retirement of our Public Works Manager, I also was tasked with and looked at organizational structure of the Public Works Department. As you know, when I took over the Public Works Department in 2006, we reorganized the department, done a couple of minor modifications over the years, and then in 2017, we had a reorganization of our structure. At that time, we went with a Public Works Manager and an Assistant Public Works Manager, and trying to really utilize the true Public Works Department where we can use staff for multiple functions. I think we've been successful in that area, and it's been very good moving forward that way. But one of the things we found is that with that, there was a lot of duties that was under everyone's plate. So what you see tonight, we're actually, as Dan stated, splitting things up kind of operationally. So we've got operations on one side, and we've got some of the other items such as the utility billing, IT, and the cemetery under a different manager. With that, as you know, about approximately 2 years ago, the Public Works Department took over full-time support of the IT services, and that's one of the major components of that one side of the org chart. We would also be using everyone that we had budgeted as of January 21st or January 1st of 2021. With that, we would actually be one less because we do not rebudget for Jim Prindle, the Public Works Manager, in the budget, so we'll be dropping that position. So within what we have budgeted in the Public Works budget is what you see here. We will rescore positions as the city administrator stated and come forward with job descriptions.
Thank you, Jared. So I'll ask, a couple questions I have for you, Jared, is I'm guessing that you've looked at a number of options to arrive at this proposed.
I actually started this process in late 2020 in concert with the city administrator, looking at different scenarios. I've came up with 8 different options in the original output of what we looked at, multiple different scenarios, narrowed that down, and then the option you see in front of you today was refined approximately a half a dozen times before it actually got to the point you see it today. So this has been a multi-month effort of where the direction and the future of the Public Works Department will be and how we accomplish our mission.
And also, are you looking at, do you feel like that you have the current personnel who have the skill set to do these jobs?
Also, as Dan Wick stated for his department, my department has a very skilled workforce. We have dedicated individuals that have multi-years of experience within our department, and I feel that there are staff within the department that can assume these roles. Obviously, we will need to continue to train individuals and to strive to do the best we can, but I feel our staff are up to the challenge, and we really have a great staff to move forward with into this new org chart.
Thank you. I think my final question at this time is, moving forward, we're looking at receiving job descriptions in the next month or so. It would be at that point in time that we could also entertain the possibility whether or not we were looking to do any type of a full recruitment or anything, or posting of the positions. That would be a consideration of council possibly at a later time. That's not something we have to decide tonight. That would be something that we could decide at a later time.
I would agree with that statement.
I just kind of want to know what all of our options are and such. So, and thank you for both you and Dan's hard work on these reorg charts, because I think when we see the final result, it looks really nice and easy, but I know that there's a lot of layers and a lot of time and hard work that's gone into these. So thank you both for this, and also for administration working with this, because I know this is a lot of work to figure out just what makes the most sense. So, Alder Smith?
I have a question. I mean, I support this. I think this looks really good, but I guess, Jared, why wouldn't cemetery and public works fall under operations? That would be my only question. I mean, we've already answered that sometime in the past.
And we would be sharing individuals back and forth. Just because you're in one side of the chart doesn't mean you would never plow snow or,
Kind of like a
or
matrix.
if we needed help in the cemetery, but the cemetery is kind of its own distinct, place. It does require, sometimes individual management to go out there and make sure things are running correctly and working with the clerk's office on making sure that the graves are properly sold and things like that. And I thought it was a fit to put it under that area, with those tasks and how they lined up. Not to say that I don't think it couldn't go under the operations side.
Yeah.
But I thought that, trying to balance the workload a little bit too, the operations side is pretty heavy right now. So I wanted to try and make sure that we kind of balance things also.
Okay, that's fair. It was a good question, so thank you.
Any other discussion at this time? Hearing none, all those, do we,
I have to make a
oh,
motion.
I was going to say, okay.
I'll make a motion that we proceed with the possible, approving the proposed organizational chart for the Department of Public Works.
Motion by Alder Smith, second by Alder Olson to approve the proposed organizational chart for Public Works. Discussion. Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, motion carries unanimously. And item number 9, update from Human Resources on staffing.
This will actually be Amanda.
Pardon?
I'm not sure, this is actually Amanda,
Oh, okay. Oh,
prepared the
that's right.
report.
Yes.
Hi, sorry. Just a few updates. So in the last couple of weeks, we hired Amanda Robert as our payroll clerk. And Casey Poindexter was hired as the office support finance specialist full-time. She was previously part-time before this. And so they began in those new roles this Monday, May 3rd. Obviously, Eric introduced Amy, and we're very excited to have her on board. We're currently accepting applications for the building supervisor position, the finance director position, and the HR generalist position, in addition to those seasonal type positions that we hire for on an ongoing basis. We're also scheduling our professional panel interviews for both police and fire. We are looking at having PFC interviews at the end of May for police and early June for fire.
Thank you, Amanda. Any questions of Amanda at this time regarding staffing? Seeing none, all those in, thank you for that report, Amanda. And adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion by Tom Smith, second by Jim Olson to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned at 7:42 this evening. Thank you, everyone, for coming in.